The public perception of James Harden is that he is a dud factory, right? Like straight up fart wind. Like nobody's really banging with him. Here are the top 5 buy lows you need to pay attention to for week 5 of the NBA season. Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is not doing what people expected of him. His blocks are down, even though John Moran is out. This one's out. That one's Brandon Clark. Everybody injured. But Jaren Jackson is just not doing it. But there is hope. But there is a silver lining in that dark cloud. He has proven to be an elite defensive player. The blocks will come back up, people. You just have to trust in it. There's a manager in your league that is sleeping on a blow-up mattress, thinking that Jaren Jackson Jr. will never return to his elite form. I'm here to tell you that they are sadly mistaken. He might not be like some people would draft him with this in the second round, like crazy stuff like that for his production right now. But it wasn't crazy then. So why do you sleep now? So what I'm going to tell you to do is get a sharp object, poke a hole in that blow-up mattress, and send an offer to buy low on Jaren Jackson Jr. James Harden, a.k.a. the problem. Oh, my God. Did you guys see that rant that announcer had about James Harden? Oh, my gosh. Yo, he threw him all the way under the bus. Front of the bus while it was rolling with the big wheels on it. Like, it was crazy. He said something like, he's like, you're not the beard. You're not the system. You're not the solution. You're the problem. Oh, my God. So that's what we're going to call James Harden until he can really turn it around. James Harden, a.k.a. the problem. So he's a buy low. James Harden is the buy low of buy lows, right? The public perception of James Harden is that he is a dud factory, right? Like straight up fart wind. Like nobody's really banging with him. And recently, I believe the Clippers got their first win with him on the team. After going, I think they were like 0-5 with him, and then they finally got a win. He hit some key shots. The buy low window on James Harden is going to close. James Harden's game at this age, at this stage of his life, of his career, is not what we were getting in Houston, but it's still a fantasy-friendly game. He led the freaking league in assists last year. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's the assist for me. Like, even if he don't put up 30 points, which he's not, if he averages 19, 20 points a game, but could get you 9 or 10 dimes, maybe a steal or two, come on, man. Like, let's not let recency bias dictate the decisions that we make for our fantasy basketball teams. So if you have a league manager who's out there like, man, James Harden is garbage, man. Yo, I'm sick of that dude, man. Like, I want to go to LA and just shave his beard off, man. If you got a guy in your league like that, that's like, like, where did you draft him? Like, what can I get for him? Send an offer. See if you could bring James Harden back to your team, because I promise you that buy low window is closing fast. Next up, y'all not gonna like this one. And honestly, I throw up in my mouth. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, I throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I say this dude's name this season. I've never had an issue with him before, but this season it's been rough. And I drafted him in a few places. My next buy low, Tyus Jones. Yes, I said Tyus Jones. And Tyus Jones might very well be on your waiver wire. If he's on your waiver wire, pick him up and see what happens. So listen, Tyus Jones, when he played for Minnesota, when he got the start, he put up numbers. When the starter went down and he was thrusted from his bench position into a starting position, he put up numbers. Went to Memphis. John Morant, always out, doing something stupid, right? Lord forgive me. Like, let me be nice. Okay. I want Ja Morant to do good. I want him to do right. I want the brother to make sound decisions, but he's not. He's not, and he has not. He's done some really bonehead things. But despite the bonehead decisions and the suspensions and the weapons in the strip club or the weapons on Facebook Live or whatever, right? Tyus Jones, when your man Ja Morant was out, put up numbers, right? Like no joke, consistent numbers. When Ja Morant would get injured, people would scurry to the waiver wire in the wee hours of the night, put up tremendous amounts of fab cash to bring him back to their squad. One could argue that those days will be over forever because now he's a starter. And in his starting position in Washington, I think more than it being him is just the organization and the team right now. But he's better than this, y'all. So I'm not saying to throw the bank to bring him back to your team. What I'm saying is if you got 3 streaming spots, throw one of your streamers, your bottom 3 players, throw one of those guys over to him and be a little patient because you can always, worst case scenario, you drop him, you pick up somebody else. But if he can ever get back just to the level that he was when he was a replacement for starters, like it's going to be worth it. So like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not running crazy excited. I picked him up in a few places because people dropped him. I drafted him in some spots. I haven't had an emotional drop yet. I was coming close to it, but I'm going to be patient. But this is a super duper buy low on Tyus Jones. Next up, one of my favorite players that I never get to see play because he's always sitting out, Zion Williamson. So Zion Williamson had a couple of good games, but like recently had some interviews where he wasn't sure if he was buying in. And that's the thing about fantasy that I tell people all the time. Analytics are important. Statistics, important. Numbers, important. Trends, super important. But something that is neglected far too often is the human social aspect of what's happening with basketball. Last year, for example, Andrew Wiggins, being away from the team, has something happening with his family. Like some people was talking about him on the internet. That's something you got to pay attention to. Draymond Green choking up Rudy Gobert. How does Rudy Gobert feel? Like he got sunned by Draymond Green. That's something to pay attention to. And even this situation with Zion Williamson, really the first time he's been healthy in a while and he's been active, but having a press conference where he was saying, man, I'm trying to buy in right now. You trying to buy it? What? You trying to buy into what? How much do they pay you, brother? How you trying to buy it? You already bought in when they paid you. They bought in. So those kind of details you got to pay attention to because your league mates are paying attention to it too. So he had a good game. Zion appears to be an emotional creature, right? He's wilding in the club with the Instagram models. He already got some baby mama drama popping off, whatever it is, right? Personal stuff aside, I would say this about Zion Williamson. When he's active, he's dominating. Like he could average 25 and 10 easy. But he has to be in the right, state of mind. And with that said, he's now coming out of a bit of a dip or where his production wasn't all of that compared for his standards. And he had a couple good games. So that buy low window is closing fast for Zion. I would send out some offers and try to bring him back to your squad. Next up, Mel Bridges. Mel Bridges was going super high in drafts. People was like, nah, Mel Bridges, that's it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get him. We gonna grab him. Let's do it. And it turned out to be Cam Thomas who was that guy, right? Putting up, they let Jacques Vaughn out here letting that young man shoot 30 shots a game. If I shot 30 shots a game, I could probably average like probably 2 points a game because I'd probably miss a lot if I was playing against NBA players. But needless to say, an NBA player who gets 30 shots, like Jeremy Grant would be dropping 25 a game. You know what I'm saying? So Mel Bridges now, with Cam Thomas injured, he's gonna get better, but people did not invest in Mel Bridges because of his scoring potential. They invested in him because he is literally the Swiss Army knife. He will stuff every stat box that you have. Hey, yo. But the fact of the matter is that if you drafted him, you have concerns. If you didn't draft him, someone in your league has concerns. So I'm talking to the people who are outside of the bubble when it comes to Mel Bridges. He will do better than this. He will be better than this. And although I'm not on that like, yo, he's a second round guy wave, I'm not there with Mel Bridges. Like, I know he was going in different spots, you know what I'm saying, depending on what league type you're in, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, I do believe he'll be better than what he is right now and could be a great buy low opportunity for you.